morning. Please turn in the gray hymnal. Stand as you to number 352. Please stand as you in body or spirit and join in singing Find a Stillness. Find a stillness, hold a stillness, let the stillness carry me. Find the silence, hold the silence, let the silence carry me. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit giving power, I will find true harmony. Seek the essence, hold the essence, let the essence carry me. Let me flower, help me flower, watch me flower, carry me. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit giving power, I will find true harmony.
Good morning, and welcome to the First Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Ann Arbor, Michigan, a liberal religious community founded in 1865. In all the years since, we have worked tirelessly for social justice and against oppression in its many forms. I am Barbara Lynn, one of our congregation's lay worship leaders, and I am delighted to greet you this morning and invite you into our circle where all are welcome. Whoever you are and whatever brings you here, we embrace your whole self in the fullness of your being. I have a practical note for those of you participating online this morning. You will need 2 small pieces of paper, something to write with, a small container filled with water, and something to stir it with. We will be using these in our ritual later, so you might wish to gather them now. And if that went by you too quickly, I'll say again, 2 pieces of paper, a pen or a pencil, a small bowl of water, and something to stir it with. If you are a newcomer on this, the first Sunday of the new year, thank you for joining us in this liminal time, a time marked by both leave-takings and new beginnings. If you are on our live stream, please feel free to introduce yourself in the chat so others may greet you. And consider filling out our newcomer survey at UUAA.org/newcomer survey to help us connect with you. And for those newcomers here in person, we invite you to join us for a welcome session in the Redmond Room directly after the service. Once you exit the sanctuary, the Redmond Room is to your left as you enter the hallway. There's a sign. And friendly folks will be there ready to speak with you about our faith and to ply you with donuts and coffee, should you so wish. The new year is upon us, a year that stretches out before us in all its promise, mystery, and uncertainty. We search for new pathways toward hope and discovery, even as we are plagued by grief and loss and fear. We do not know what awaits us. This year in particular, we feel ourselves perched on the edge of a dangerous new era, our country and the world tottering on the brink. Many of us are afraid, and there is no sense pretending that this is not so. This is why we come together, why we are here, granting each other sanctuary and welcome and belonging. We join together in love and with purpose to create a world of hope and justice, and yes, even and especially joy. For this, we are gathered in community. We are gathered for worship.
I go through a lot of candles at home in December and January. I find candlelight comforting. To me, it invokes stillness instantly. A flame burning is not in itself still. If you watch a lit candle, there is always movement, but the flame invites me into stillness. I move slower, I breathe more quietly around candlelight. And today, as Barbara Lynn lights the flame of our chalice, a symbol of Unitarian Universalism, let's notice how the flame is both active and still. Let's notice how it invites us into this space, preparing us time together. Let's feel how it connects us to other Unitarian Universalists around the world, around the country, and those in nearby communities, where some who are watching on live stream are also lighting their chalices. If you are with us on live stream right now, please consider writing in the chat where your chalice is lit. If you would, join me together in saying the words of our chalice lighting. We light this chalice for the light of truth. We light this chalice for the warmth of love. We light this chalice for the energy of action. We light this chalice for the harmony of peace. Thank you, Bert. Foundational to Unitarian Universalism is the idea of covenant. This is a faith built not around a single creed or a profession of faith, but rather around the idea of covenant, the promises we make to each other about how we are in relationship with each other and with the world. It reminds us that we can always begin again in love when we fall short on our promises, as we have done and we will continue to do. But being in right relationship is so worth the effort it takes to get there. It is from that place that we can continue the work of creating our beloved community. So whether you have this covenant memorized or you are seeing it for the very first time, all are welcome to join me in saying, the spirit of this church is love, and service is its law. This is our covenant with each other, to dwell together in peace, to search for truth in love, and to help one another.
I've always been a night owl. So naturally, I went into teaching and had several children. I'm sure that somewhere along the line, the parents and caregivers in our community have heard the following piece of advice. Sleep when the baby sleeps. See, I knew someone would know it. And it is good advice. I've given this advice. But more often than not, even during the peak of sleeplessness, I often chose to stay awake when my babies slept. Sometimes I read a book. When I was really ambitious, sometimes I would meditate. Sometimes I showered, or I made myself something to eat. And sometimes I just scrolled mindlessly on my phone. Even now, when my kids stay up later, I still hold on to an hour of time to myself after they are asleep, even if it means I'm up later than my body wants. Morning Stella is frequently frustrated with nighttime Stella. But that hour of quiet, of stillness, at the end of a noisy, busy day is essential for me. To quote Ferris Bueller, life comes at you pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. I do love the noise, the adventure, the chaos, the big feelings, the rawness and vulnerability that comes with being human. It is the stuff of life, and sometimes it's too much. To truly appreciate the noise, we also need to embrace moments of quiet and calm. Our story for all ages this morning encourages us to do just that. The Silence Slips In, written by Allison Hughes, illustrated by Ninon Pelletier. The silence is shy and soft, shaggy and still. It peers around corners and waits quietly, ready to soothe and smooth the sharp, jagged edges left by the noise. When the others have chattered and shrieked their way home, when the balloons have all popped, when the baby finally falls asleep, when the dog is all barked out, and the screens are dark, the silence slips in. It appears slowly, like a watery rainbow after a storm, after the noise's tantrum of thunder and rain has rolled on. It watches the snow fall in the early morning and curls up in a sunbeam with a warm, cuddly cat. The silence loves reading, thinking, long hugs, and mugs of hot chocolate by a peaceful fire. The silence slips in at bedtime and greets its friend, the dark. They bring warm, soft blankets and settle in. The silence holds you in its safe, soothing arms and lulls you to sleep, and gently, softly launches all the boats of your dreams. In the morning, when the birds start to sing and the baby wakes up, the noise hammers on the door and clatters back in, and the silence slips away. Back to its home in a quiet room, a peaceful garden, the forest, the mountains, the ocean, or the deep, deep sky. But the silence will come back whenever you call it, whenever you need it, even in the midst of the noise and its ruckus. If you close your eyes and breathe deeply, the silence will pad in on its soft, furry feet and surround you. Your busy mind will settle, and you will smile a peaceful little smile. As the silence slips in. The end.
Once a month, We reach beyond our own concerns to share our collection with a community group working to bring about the world we envision. Today's recipient is Habitat for Humanity of Huron Valley, a group with deep ties to this congregation. And here to tell us more is Leah Tessman, Habitat's Director of Grants, Corporate, and Faith Giving. Please welcome her warmly.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to see so many familiar faces in the room. For more than 35 years, Habitat for Humanity of Huron Valley has been a catalyst for stabilizing homes, families, and communities in Washtenaw County by providing more than just our signature homeownership program. We work to create and sustain affordable homeownership for low to mid-income families that strengthen neighborhoods through new builds and home repairs for existing homeowners. We improve home values, help create generational wealth, and improve the health and safety for aging residents of low income. Homeownership can provide stable environments to grow in and generational wealth to pass on. In the last year, we completed our 10,000th home improvement project as part of our home improvement program. Thank you. This program provides critical repairs and energy-saving measures for existing homeowners. For those we serve, these home repairs, such as a new roof or adding insulation, can be costly and they can strain a family's finances. Our repairs ensure that safety and financial security come first, and that often reducing energy costs and improving the comfort for the homeowners. Through this program, we also help aging adults with aging-in-place modifications and safety measures to help them remain in their home with access to the community that they know and love. In the last year, over 700 homeowners were served and assisted through this program, including many energy-efficient appliance replacements that will not only save the homeowner energy costs, but also improve the neighborhood's environment. Through our signature homeownership program, we renovate or build homes to provide below-market interest mortgages to qualified partnering families in need of decent, safe, and affordable housing. With the help of volunteers like you all, who donate more than 1,500 hours on each house, and donors who help us cover the cost of the expensive building materials, we provide new energy-efficient homes to families. To receive a Habitat home, families must earn 30 to 80% of the area media income. They apply with us and provide more than 100 sweat equity hours on the work site, as well as taking financial management classes with us. We know that improving affordable homeownership leads to numerous outcomes that extend well beyond the house: generational wealth transfer, greater economic stability, and increased civic and social engagement. According to Habitat International, U.S. homeowners have an average net wealth that is 400% higher than those of renters with similar demographics and earnings. We also found that children of low-income homeowners are 11% more likely to graduate from high school and complete post-secondary education than children of low-income renters. In the last year, we welcomed 6 families to Habitat Homes, and since inception, we've created more than 280 new units of homeownership in Washtenaw County. Our impact on families and communities would not be possible without the continued support of you. UUAA members have contributed with funds and volunteerism for many years and really serve as the foundation of our service. Because of you, our impact is visible in the revitalized neighborhoods, the families achieving financial security and passing on that generational wealth, and children who are achieving more in school and life. We are beyond grateful for UUAA's continued support, and thank you for helping us build the future of our communities together. Thank you.
Thank you, Leah. Habitat for Humanity is one of our treasured partners. Every week, as we engage in the spiritual practice of our Sunday offering, we give voice to our gratitude through giving. When we offer our plate to a group such as Habitat, we are turning our gaze beyond these walls and out into the world. The act of sharing our collection plate elevates the ritual of our weekly offering, expands our circle of concern, and deepens our understanding of what it means to give. We have made it easy for you to donate. You may text UUAA to 73256 or visit uuaa.org/giving and select Share the Collection for the fund. Or you may choose the tried and true and drop your cash or checks into the baskets as the ushers make their rounds. Thank you for your generosity. Let us remember on this frigid morning that our gifts to Habitat for Humanity offer others the warmth of the hearth and the comforts of home. I invite the ushers to please come forward, as this morning's offering will now be gratefully given and received. Thank you, Allison. And now, as our ushers come forward, I invite you to rise in body or in spirit as you are comfortably able. And please join me as we speak with intention the words of our dedication. Together, let us say, to the work of this congregation, which is weaving a tapestry of love and action, we dedicate our lives and these our offerings. Thank you. Please be seated.
We began our service by singing, "Find a stillness, hold a stillness, let the stillness carry me." Find the silence, hold the silence. Let the silence carry me. It is my hope that we will find that stillness within us this morning. We will engage in 3 rituals, each allowing us some moments of quiet for reflection as we let go of the past, as we consider how we can connect our mind and body in movement, and as we acknowledge the larger community of which we are a part by offering blessings and words of hope to the wider world. It is also my hope that this feeling of stillness that you experience today will stay with you in the coming days and the weeks and the years ahead. So let us begin with our first ritual, a looking back before moving forward into the new year. Now, if you are joining us from home, please use any piece of paper that you have. The thinner, the better for this ritual, something to write with, and something with water in it nearby. For those here in the sanctuary, you should have a small piece of thin white paper that you picked up on the way in. This is dissolving paper. If you need some, please raise your hand and the usher will bring them around. They'll also bring you a little pencil that you can write with. Right now, the new year is calling us forward. It's filled with mystery and possibility. But even as we turn toward that potential, we should also take a final look back at the past year and decide what will we hold on to and what will we let go of. Think about what you want to let go of from the past year. What do you want to release? Maybe it's a bad memory, a mistake, a limiting belief, an unsuccessful relationship. What's holding you back? What's getting in the way of you living as fully as you'd like to? So take some time now to write a word or a phrase, a sentence. You could even draw a picture on the paper. No one will see this except you. For those at home, when you are ready, please say silently or out loud, "I let go," and then drop the paper in the water you have nearby, stir it around, and watch it melt and release what you are letting go of. If you don't have water nearby, that's okay. You can tear up the paper, or if you can do so safely, you could burn it. But take your time with this. For those of you here in the sanctuary, after you've written something and when you feel ready, will you come up to one of the bowls at the front, and as you drop in your paper, you may say quietly or out loud, "I let go." There's no need to rush, and allow space at the table for those ahead of you to finish before you approach. If it is not easy for you to move to the front, please just raise your hand and we will bring some water to you. Okay, let's begin. If the past year held joy and growth for you, may that sweetness continue to bless you. If the past year held pain and bitterness, may you feel your burdens lifted. May each of us move forward into the new year, feeling lighter, feeling peaceful, and feeling hopeful. Will you join me now in singing, while seated, hymn number 391, Voice Still and Small, hymn 391.
Still and small, deep inside all, I hear you call, singing. In dark and rain, sorrow and pain, still you remain, singing. Calming my fears, quenching my tears, through all the years, singing. Voice still and small, deep inside all, I hear you call, singing. In dark and rain, sorrow and pain, still you remain, singing. Calming my fears, quenching my tears, through all the years, singing.
In our story, the child learned that silence or stillness could come to her whenever she called it, as it lived all around her, right there along with all the noise of life. It existed in a quiet room, a garden, the ocean, in the sky, on the mountain, and in the forest. She learned she could close her eyes, breathe deeply, and find herself in that place of stillness whenever she needed it. I am a firm believer in stillness. It comes easily to me because I have intentionally practiced it for a long time. I recognize the role it plays in my life and in my work. I try to share strategies for getting to that place with others, especially when I am counseling those who are facing great uncertainties in their lives, possibly due to health concerns or relationship changes, or those who are overwhelmed by caregiving responsibilities. In the coming year, I know that we will have to be able to find this internal stillness to get us through the daily news cycles, the political roller coaster that we are on, the very real fear for the lives of many of our beloveds. I know for some of you, Inauguration Day is already a huge source of anxiety. We will be a mess, wound up, anxious, unable to sleep or take good care of ourselves, and you can't do the work when you're a mess. I'll venture a guess that we also won't know when exactly we will most need to find this strength. So I hope that today will give you a new way of understanding what finding stillness means. Now, often folks equate it to meditations, extended time sitting in an uncomfortable position trying to quiet one's mind. Often internal stillness is equated with being motionless. To be sure, you can still be still in traditional meditation practices without moving, but it's mostly about being present, being here right now, and connecting your mind and body and feeling a sense of renewal, of being restored physically, emotionally, spiritually after having practiced this. It doesn't have to be a huge time commitment, and it doesn't have to be still. You can find stillness while knitting. Thank you, Vilma, for bringing your knitting. I knew someone would have knitting. While coloring. You can find it, I think, even while dancing. Yes, there is stillness in motion. And in a moment, we're going to practice some stillness while walking. Now, I'd like to read some excerpts from an article by the Zen Buddhist teacher, poet, and author, Thich Nhat Hanh, about walking meditation practice. He writes, "Many of us walk for the sole purpose of getting from one place to another. Now, suppose we are walking to a sacred place. We would walk quietly and take each gentle step with reverence. I propose that we walk this way every time we walk on the earth. The earth is sacred, and we touch her with each step. We should be very respectful because we are walking on our mother. If we walk like that, then every step will be grounding. Every step will be nourishing. To walk in this way, we have to notice each step. Each step made in mindfulness can bring us back to the here and now. Go slowly. Mindfulness lights our way. We don't rush. With each breath, we may take just one step. We may have run all our life, but now we don't have to run anymore. This is the time to stop running. To be grounded in the earth is to feel its solidity with each step and know that we are right where we are supposed to be. Each mindful breath, each mindful step reminds us that we are alive on this beautiful planet. We don't need anything else. It's wonderful enough just to be alive, to breathe in, to make one step. We have arrived at where real life is available, the present moment. If we breathe and walk in this way, we become as solid as a mountain. We can't be grounded in our body if our mind is somewhere else. In our daily lives, we may spend many hours forgetting the body. We get lost in our computer or in our worries, our fears, our busyness. Walking meditation makes us whole again. Only when we are connected with our body are we truly alive. Healing is not possible without that connection. So walk and breathe in a way such that you can connect with your body deeply. Walking meditation unites our body and our mind. We combine our breathing with our steps. When we breathe in, we may take 2 or 3 steps. When we breathe out, we may take 3 or 4 or 5 steps. We pay attention to what is comfortable for our body. Now, he continues to talk about how this practice, this walking meditation, can bring stillness. And he uses the word to calm down the body and mind, which is what I mean when I say I found stillness. He continues, our breathing has the function of helping our body and mind calm down. As we walk, we can say, breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I bring peace to my body. Calming the breath calms the body and reduces any pain and tension. Walking meditation is first and foremost a practice to bring body and mind together peacefully. No matter what we do, the place to start is to calm down, because when our mind and body have calmed down, we see more clearly. When we see our anger or sadness clearly, it dissipates. We begin to feel more compassion for ourselves and others. We can only feel this when our body and mind are united. I have a student named Sister Tree High who spent a long time in prison. She was a peace activist I knew since she was in middle school. She came to the United States to study English literature before going back to Vietnam and becoming a nun. When she was out in the streets advocating for peaceful change, she was arrested and put in prison. Sister Triha practiced walking meditation in her prison cell. It was very small. After 7 steps, she had to turn around and come back. Sitting and walking mindfully gave her space inside. She taught other prisoners in her cell how to sit and how to breathe so they would suffer less. They were in a cold cell, but through their walking meditation, they were grounded in the solid beauty of the earth. Now, Thich Nhat Hanh acknowledges that humans have limitations, that some may not physically be able to walk, that they may have injuries or limited mobility, or per his example, are confined in prison. The practice does not require great amounts of space or time, or even actual walking. There are other ways to connect your mind and body to reach the same end. So we will begin our second ritual with several options for you. What is important is that you have access to stillness through motion wherever you will need it. If you want to practice it through walking today, you can join in. If not, just watch and observe how it works, and you can try it when you are next walking somewhere else. Now, walking may not be possible or easy or even preferred. Another way to engage in mindful practice can be by tracing a pattern, like a spiral, just on the palm of your hand, or perhaps on your leg while you're seated, but something that connects your mind and your body in a tactile way. This is also an option for you on live stream as well. So if you want to try walking, we're going to see how this will happen. Stella is going to start over here, and we thought if there are any younger ones among the group who want to follow Stella, she will begin here and just kind of make a circle and come around. You can walk behind Stella at a sort of deliberate pace. Then they'll circle around. Others, if you wish, you can join and follow. You can do this just in the aisle, or you can do something just on your palm. Intentionally, there's no music during this time. I want you to feel free to just walk or move at a pace that fits your own body rhythm. Now, if you find singing to yourself helps, please do. That's part of my personal walking meditation practice. But you don't need to follow the exact pacing Stella is using. Thich Nhat Hanh says, one way to practice walking meditation is to breathe in and take 1 step and focus all your attention on the sole of your foot. If you have not arrived 100% fully in the here and now, don't take the next step. Okay, this is a new one, so we're going to see what happens. Let's take a few moments and walk if you want to. As you're returning now to your seats, if you would rise in body or in spirit and join in singing hymn 83. Hymn 83, Winds Be Still. You may be seated. Our time together on Sundays usually end with a benediction, which literally means good words. Someone, usually the minister, offers these good words to those who are listening as a way to send them off into the days and week ahead. We send you off with a blessing, something to hold and to keep and encourage you. Now, the hymn we just sang offered a sort of blessing. May we find tranquility, may we sense the mystery of life, may we see with clarity what needs to be seen and how we can make it so. But a benediction is not restricted to the minister or the lay worship leader or someone else who happens to be up here. You each have the ability to offer good words to each other as you leave on any Sunday. And today, would you think about our final ritual as a sort of communal benediction as we send our good words out into the world? I'm going to invite you to write a wish or a prayer for peace and send them into the world by placing them on a map near the geographical location that you are holding in your heart. Now, so that we can all see the blessings offered, you can put your sticky note next to each other's, not just all on top of each other, even if it's not the exact precise location that you're thinking about. Certainly, if there are kids or younger ones here, we hope that you will join us in this ritual, and if you can't reach a spot on the map, we will help you with that. Now, there are sticky notes and pens on the table. I'm going to invite you to come up at your own pace, work on all sides of that table, write a note, a prayer, a wish for peace. Those on live stream, you may add your blessings in the chat, or you can write something down and bring it into the church in the coming weeks and add it to our map. I'm going to invite you now to come forward if you'd like to participate. Wait for space to kind of open up at the table, and then move to the map and place your prayer there, and then go back to your seats. Okay? Please. Thank you all. We will keep this map out in the hallway or in the social hall in the coming weeks to remind us of our hopes for the future and for anyone to add to if they wish. And now just a few more words of benediction. We begin this new year with internal stillness to give us strength and hope as we face what is ahead, much of it uncertain. Know that we have each other. We have this beloved community to support us on the journey. Go in peace, dear ones. Amen and blessed be.